Hi, hi guys, welcome to the Job Ready trainings. Today we are going to look at AWS EC2 pricing option scenarios. And that means we are going to come up with the scenario, and for that scenario, which pricing model best suits in AWS. So without any ado, let's move to our first question, which is a company wants to use compute capacity without any long-term commitment with AWS. Also, their workload cannot withstand interruptions. That means we are having two requirements here. Company wants to use compute capacity without any long-term commitment. That is the first requirement. And the second requirement is the workload cannot withstand interruptions. So now which pricing model will you select based on these two requirements? So whenever there is a requirement of no long-term commitment and your workload cannot withstand interruptions, then the on-demand pricing is best suited for such scenario. So the answer is on-demand pricing for question number one. Let's move to question number two, which is a Java developer wants to run some Java programs that cannot be interrupted. He wants to use compute capacity for short duration. That means he wants to run some programs that cannot be interrupted, and the duration is also very small. That means once he uses and runs his Java programs, he can stop or terminate his EC2 instance machine. Which pricing model will you select for this scenario? So the answer is on-demand pricing. Whenever there is a requirement that the programs cannot be interrupted and you have to run that program for short duration of time, then the answer will be on-demand pricing. Let's move on to question number three. An organization wants to free itself from the burden of planning. That means organization doesn't want to do a lot of planning to get their EC2 instances, and they want to run their business use cases in an ad hoc manner. That means they want to run their business use cases some days, and they don't want to run their business use cases on other days. And some days they have their usage for 1 hour, and some days they don't have any usage. That is ad hoc manner. They are ready to pay hourly rates for the EC2 instances they use. Also, their use cases cannot be interrupted. That means there are 4 requirements here. They don't want to do any planning to buy EC2 instances, and they want to run their business use cases in an ad hoc manner. And also they are ready to pay the hourly rates. And the last requirement is their use cases cannot be interrupted. Again, this is a very good candidate for on-demand pricing. So that is on-demand pricing. Let's move on to question 4. An enterprise wants to run applications that are fault tolerant, stateless, and can withstand interruptions. That means their applications are fault tolerant. If something goes wrong, their application can recover from the faults. That is fault tolerant. They are stateless. That means the application does not store any state information, and they can withstand interruptions. That means even if the application stops and again restarts, there is no harm to the application. Which pricing model is best suited for this question? It is EC2 spot instances, where spot instances are very useful when you are running your fault tolerant applications, stateless applications, and the applications that can withstand interruptions. It also provides a lot of discounts as compared to the on-demand pricing. So the answer is EC2 spot instances. Let's move on to question number 5, which is a company wants to run applications at a huge scale. That means they want a lot of computing capacity, and the application can be interrupted, and they want massive cost saving as compared to the on-demand instances. Guys, whenever you want to run your applications at a huge scale with massive cost saving, also if your applications can be interrupted, then spot instances are the best pricing model for such situation, where you want to run your application at huge scale that can be interrupted, and you also want massive cost saving. So when you find these keywords, then EC2 spot instances are the best candidates for such requirement. Let's move on to next question, which is question 6. An organization wants the flexibility to move the workloads from one region to another region. Also, they want the flexibility to shift their workloads from EC2 to AWS Fargate or AWS Lambda. And the organization is ready to make specific usage commitments for 1 or 3 years. Now, the keywords here are an organization wants to move their workloads from one region to another. They want flexibility in terms of region. Also, they want flexibility in terms of moving their applications from EC2 to AWS Fargate or AWS Lambda. So these are two types of flexibility they want from region to region and from EC2 to either Fargate or Lambda. And the organization is ready to make specific commitments in terms of usage, either for 1 or 3 years. In such cases, compute savings plan is the best suited saving plan because you want to move from EC2 to AWS Fargate or AWS Lambda. So whenever you want to move from EC2 to either Fargate or Lambda, then compute saving plan provides the best discounts for such scenario. Let's move on to the next question, which is question number 7. An organization wants the flexibility to move the workloads from one region to another region. They want the flexibility in terms of moving the workloads from region to region. Also, they want the usage only on EC2 instances. That means they don't want to move from EC2 to either AWS Fargate or AWS Lambda. And the organization is ready to make specific usage commitments for 1 or 3 years. Which pricing model will you select? Now there are 2 or 3 requirements here. They want to move their workloads from one region to another region. That is the first requirement. Then we have the requirement that they want to use the application only on EC2 instances. And finally, they are ready to make commitments in terms of usage per hour, either for 1 or 3 years. Whenever there is a scenario EC2 instance saving plan, because you are only going to use EC2 instances in this case, which provides even more deeper discounts as compared to your compute saving plan. That is EC2 instance saving plan in such case. Let's move on to question number 8. A company wants to build, train, and deploy machine learning models. The organization is ready to make specific usage commitments measured in dollar per hour for 1 or 3 years. Whenever there's a requirement where you want to build or train and deploy your machine learning model, then Amazon has a very specific pricing model for this, which is Amazon SageMaker savings plan. You can go with Amazon SageMaker savings plan whenever you want to build, train, and deploy your machine learning models, and you are ready to make commitments of dollar per hour, either for 1 or 3 years. So we looked at 8 scenarios along with the pricing model, which one to select. That's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Thank you.